Hello, Suzanne from Making It in Maine. I have been working on various things lately, and this video is probably going to be a bit cobbled together because I've filmed some stuff and stopped. I'm going to put some video in here about the little Civil War reproduction fabric square in a square foundation paper piecing quilt that I've been working on that has been tormenting me immensely. So I'll put that in here and then we'll continue with other things. This probably leans toward perfectionism. I don't know. What would you say it leads to perfectionism or not? I'm inclined to think it just leads to me wanting to be happy with my finished result, and currently I'm not. So here's what my plan is. I'm going to move this over here. This is going to column 4, row 2. This is going to move over there, and this is going to move down to here. So that will eliminate these 3 dark centers, and it will eliminate these 3 prints that are the same, just in different colorways. It'll eliminate those from being right next to each other. As I'm looking at this though, and this is going to column 4, row 2. So there will be a lot of this print sort of near each other, but I think it's a lot better than the way it looks now. So we'll see. We will see. For better or for worse, this is what I am going with. I ripped and re-sewed, and there are things about this layout that I still don't love, but I can tell you what, that was my final rip out and redo, and this is going to be it. I'm going to pin it, pin baste it, and quilt it, and get a binding on it, and call it good. I don't know if I would dare to sell this. I don't know if anybody would want it. If I had it to do, and I'd do things so differently. I'm just looking at my layout right now and kind of wondering why I didn't notice those 2 blue backgrounds together, but I am not, repeat, not moving it. So I said, that's it, no more. I am not messing with that little square and a square quilt again. Did I stick to that? No. The 2 blocks that were one above the other that had a blue background, yes, these 2, I decided I just couldn't live with it. So my solution was to, and luckily I had it, the reverse of this block. So the stripe will be on the outside, which is green stripe, and the blue in the center. So let me remove the pin and reveal that. I think it's a much better option. Ta-da! And then I don't have blue above blue. So that, my friends, will be the final change I make to this little quilt. So next step is to baste it and quilt it and put a binding on it. And I have cut the binding strip right there. And that print that I'm using for the binding is this one. So that is that. I don't know, this little quilt has tormented me, so do you think anyone would want to purchase this if I were to put it in my Etsy shop? I don't know. I guess it can't hurt to try, right? I think I will. I think I will once I finish it. Or maybe I should keep it just as a reminder how... No. I don't need to remember how I was tormented by it. Put it in my Etsy shop. And I'll let you know when that happens. Let me share with you what else I've been working on lately. One very, very old project that I started many moons ago. I had started quilting it, I think I don't know if I started quilting it by machine first, and then it just wasn't coming out. It's just coming out kind of wonky. So I pulled those stitches out, machine and or hand. I really don't remember. I think it was probably hand. That I pulled out, hand quilting, because the strips of fabric were looking uneven, and that's why I ripped it out. So cast aside whenever I run into a problem with quilting or sewing. It gets shoved to the side for a while until I can face it again. Well, it's been many, many moons. I guess there were just other things that were more interesting to me at the time, which is why I just ignored this one. But I just, I'm trying to get things done. I'm trying. So this is a little doll quilt that I am working on, and I have two rows of hand quilting done so far. I don't know if you can see them, but anyway, I'm underway with it, and so far so good. The strips of fabric are not getting wonky. This, I just adore that fabric at the top. Love, love, love it. I think I have more of it upstairs in my stash. But, yeah, I love that. So it'll be kind of fun to finish this little guy. Very tiny. Probably put that in my Etsy shop too, maybe. Dunno. We'll see. We shall see, said Big Max. All right, the other thing that I have been working on to finish is my Hello Luscious quilt. So now I am hand stitching the binding on. This is done, and this is where I'm headed with the pins. This is the front of the quilt, and I'm hand sewing the binding to the back of the quilt. Many people machine stitch it on, but I prefer hand stitching it. What else was I going to say about this? Oh yes, I have one entire side done. This is where I began. So I have my mitered corners. That's the front side of the quilt and the back side. And then this whole length of the binding is sewn on, this is how far along I am on this side, right to here. So yes, from there to there on this side. Yeah, I enjoy hand sewing the binding on. I know many people hate it, but I really enjoy it because I like hand work. That is what I have been up to. I will say I did start something because I want to start teaching sewing classes. I want to teach people how to sew who have never sewn before, ideally, so they can experience how much fun it is. And so I am, let me just grab it, it's right here. I am making and the reason I started this unfinished, or not unfinished thing, the reason I started this new thing is because I am trying to get a sense of how long it will take, how easy or difficult. It's easy, but anyway, it's this is going to be a cover for a composition notebook. So I have quilted it just in a on point square design. It's a bright, cheerful fabric. And I have 2 pockets that I'm going to attach to it. And I'm going to bind the ends with this. So as that progresses, I'll show you the finished product. I went today to a local Boys and Girls Club and met with the director there. He's a naturopathic doctor, but he's doing this full-time now. And we spent probably the first part of my meeting with him to discuss me teaching kids there how to sew. We were talking about health and a passion of mine, talking about health and nutrition and healthy cooking and all that. So it was a fun chat with him. So I'm going to go possibly tomorrow afternoon to see if it's going to be a good fit for me, and if it is, I will submit volunteer paperwork and go volunteer for a couple of hours each week. Yeah, so they have four sewing machines there. He's quite certain that at least one works. So tomorrow, if I go tomorrow, I will investigate and see if the other 3 work. And then I will pick a project that the teens can hopefully finish in an hour or so, so they have a sense of accomplishment. So that's what I've been up to as of late. Yeah, I said when I got back from Italy, hopefully I would get going with more regularity of my videos, but this is a little later than I would have liked. Oh yes, the other thing that I did recently, I ripped the borders off. Let me get that. Papers are flying. I ripped the borders off this little quilt for my granddaughter because it can be advantageous. Maybe I learned it in a podcast. I think I did. to start a border in the center and go in one direction, and then in the center and the other direction. So these had come out ripply, a little ripply, which is why I ripped the borders off. Took the time to rip them off, pull all the threads, sew them back on. It's still ripply. So it's not the borders, I think. It's these probably that have made it ripply. So I've never used spray-based before. I don't really like the idea of it because it's chemicals, but I don't know how to beat this quilt into submission otherwise, and that may not even beat it into submission, but excuse me, I am going to try because it's so cute and I want to finish it. And so that's what I'm going to try. I was out, meant to pick it up this morning when I was out, and I forgot, even though it was written on the side of my grocery list. So I may go out later this afternoon and pick that up. Well, dear ones, here's what's coming next. I got my second month's block of the month, pardon me, block of the month from oh, hello, brain, work, would you? Laundry basket quilts. And so I need to sew those up, and it'll be interesting to see if I end up with a different unfinished block size, because the unfinished block size of the first 4 blocks I did was 9 1/4 inches when it was supposed to be 9 1/2 inches. So I'm going to sew these with a scant 1/4 inch, even though it doesn't mention that in the directions, and see how that turns out. So you can stay tuned for a report on that. All right, dear ones, I hope you stop back again. I hope that I'm inspiring you to try something new or get going on some of your unfinished projects if you have them. Please like if you are enjoying what I'm showing and doing on my channel. Subscribe. I would love it if you would subscribe. Hit the notifications bell if you want to know when these are landing. You have to log in to do that. I'd love comments on what I'm doing. You have to log in for that too. Yeah, so, and share if you know anybody else who might be interested in what I'm doing on this here channel. Until we meet again, from my heart to yours, bye for now.